everybody. We happen to be live. Look, it's Steve Goodie. It's mustache night, everybody. And we are live. And by the way, it's 4 a.m. for me as the ship has, over the last 6 days, gone ahead 1 hour every night. So in hopes we won't suffer jet lag when we land in Spain. And it worked. I've been exhausted for 6 days.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online. And though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we've still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have some fun.
It's the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian
Dave Dugan,
plus funny songs from
Shoebox of Worm Quartet,
and a Patti melt from Patti Vasquez
as a rerun,
and much, much more. Now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
It's me, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to 4 a.m. Hey, and you'll notice my internet on the ship was working really well because I'm probably literally the only one on it on the ship. So I cover maybe 2 perverts down on deck 1. So
you leave my family out of this.
That's right. Welcome to the show. And of course, there's never a lack of excitement here, as Steve Goodie couldn't get his camera on 1 minute before the show. So that was fantastic. So welcome. Welcome. We have Steve Goodie, our star. Everybody, let's hear it for him. And Patti Vasquez is here sometimes tonight, virtually and fake. And I'm Brad Tassell, better known as the reason people show up 10 minutes late. So I'm also still on the celebrity reflection, and we had a few rough days at sea on this crossing. One afternoon, my caviar almost fell off my cracker. I'm telling you, it was tough.
Oh, that's tough.
I know.
That's so rough.
I was thinking about how utterly pampered we are in the world, floating across this vast sea of certain human death, you know, as I'm eating lobster thermidor. And I was sitting out eating one day, looking at the sea, and I felt like, look, I looked out at the sea and I thought, if I fell into the ocean, there would be 1,000+ miles in every direction of just unforgiving sea, of despair and sadness, and I would drift and just wade alone, treading water, like with my soul slowly being forced from my body in endless oblivion in a dark abyss. And just as I was saying that, this hand came on my shoulder and a passenger said, "Now you know how we feel when we watch your act." So, so it gave me a little solace. By the way, here's what you get on the ship. It's so beautiful here. You get a certificate that said you crossed the sea on a ship, which I guess is an accomplishment. I've never, has anybody else crossed the Atlantic on a ship? Nobody? Okay, so you had
Christopher Columbus did.
Not on the ship. Well, Christopher Columbus said that's a lie. He didn't make it.
My mother did.
He was drunk. I have. Now, I will tell you this. I have gone to Hawaii, but I haven't gone all the way across. So, okay. Well, anyway, let's stop that. We have one hell of a show. I've been trying to get this man here for 2 years. He kept saying no, and sometimes he would have to cancel. But now we have one of my probably favorite comics in the world, and also my favorite Who's Your Dad, Dave Dugan. Everybody, yay! And probably one of the most prolific and hilarious acts we can fool into coming here. It's Shoebox of Worm Quartet. His made-up name is Crist. Everybody, that's the made-up part. So now, with no further ado, here's some ado. Here we go. Okay, I want to get my stance in. JP Morgan is buying all the assets of First Republic Bank in a deal announced to finally get rid of that old broken down savings and loan. The heads of First Republic will jump off a bridge to save an angel and then punch their cop friend. Okay. We're losing a lot of small banks to Mr. Potter. Potter? Okay. Hey, Russian private military company Wagner has threatened to pull their mercenaries from the battlefield in Ukraine because Russia has stopped sending supplies to them. What do you need? Said Ukraine. Maybe fight for us. Now, by the way, the Wagner group is clashing with Russian generals over getting none of what they need. And even now, they are still recruiting hundreds of convicts from prison to go out and fight. The prisoners, for their effort, will get reduced sentences and probably get shot in the front and the back. Don't turn around, pal. Okay. After months of painstaking preparation, the coronation of King Charles III, he of floppy noble ears, finally takes place. Charles has waited 70 years to become king. And as you heard, all those 70 years, long live the queen. Now the voices will ring out. 5 is wishful thinking. Also, Charles's wife Camilla will be Britain's new queen because Elton John lives in Atlanta. Elton, by the way, would like that joke. Okay. Uber released its 2023 Lost and Found list. The top item, any guesses?
Phones.
Cell phones and wallets. But of course, other things too. One of the items at the top of the list was weed, bags of pot. Along with the top thing said by the driver, no, officer, the passenger left that. And now here are a couple items lost in Ubers that you will not believe maybe in 2022. Number 1, a Danny DeVito Christmas ornament, actual size. And a remote control vibrator, but without the remote. So the driver never knows when he's in for a good time. Okay. Hey, by the way, Uber is happy to return any lost items except the pot, which is now just stems, and the vibrator. But the driver requests whomever has the remote, please turn it up high on Saturday mornings at 9 and Wednesdays around 7:30. Okay, so because his wife's not talking to him. Next, hey, the animal sanctuary in Lancashire, England, is offering 5 positions in seagull deterrence. The employees would be tasked with helping stop the birds from stealing food from visitors and animals. The new hires will dress like giant birds and chase away the seagulls. This is a real position. This is real. All you need is to apply, be outgoing, and say, mine, mine, louder than the gulls. Mine. By the way, hey, and next joke. Actor James Corden finished out his 8-year tenure as host of the Late Late Show with a huge finale with appearances by all the other late night hosts, even David Letterman, and he talked about a divided America. He will move back to the UK to find his next job. What size bird suit do you wear? Said an animal sanctuary in Lancashire. By the way, I didn't make that joke up. The bird sanctuary actually offered him the job. Okay. Super Mario Brothers. Has anybody seen Super Mario Brothers, the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah.
It was
cute.
loud and busy and lots of stuff.
So you didn't like
the
it?
game.
Yeah.
It was
So
all
it's
right.
not worth it for me.
It was
Okay.
My son liked it.
Your son liked it. Well, how old is he?
40.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you're not 11. Okay. Here we go. Sorry to stop everybody. Super Mario Brothers has become the 10th animated film to cross the $1 billion mark at the global box office. Asked what he will do with his cut, Mario said, I'm gonna have a less of peach and a more cherry.
Oh.
Oh, God. Really?
Didn't they have mustaches? Mario movie.
Yeah, they do have mustaches. So,
Was it?
yes, that was the joke. Okay. Fox News' ratings have tumbled after the firing of Tucker Carlson. And now, like most of their viewing audience, they have to hit that life alert button. I found it. I can't get up. I found it. I can't get up. Okay. You notice I didn't try too hard this week. Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson celebrated his 90th birthday with his best pals, Blue Dream, Acapulco Gold, and Maui Wowie. Maybe Snoop Dogg was there too. He can't remember. The IRS says that Beyonce owes $2.69 million in taxes for 2018 and 2019 that she is underpaid. The diva has stated what?
Nothing.
Okay, let's start that again. The IRS says that Beyonce owes $2.69 million in taxes for 2018 and 2019 that she is underpaid. The diva has stated she doesn't believe she's underpaid, but she said to cover the debt, she offered 2 front row tickets to her next concert. We'll take it, said the IRS. Jerry Springer passed away this week. Yep. His family asks in lieu of flowers, please hit your neighbor with a chair.
Jerry.
We can all thank Jerry for teaching us one great life lesson: never give a hooker a personal check. I think that's which he did, because he wanted less of peach and a more cherry.
All back.
This one I'm not sure makes any sense, but I thought it was funny. In an interview, 83-year-old R&B legend Smokey Robinson responded to a rumor that he and Diana Ross were the real parents of Michael Jackson. Yep. Did you know that? That's a real thing. No, said the legend, but don't ask me about that kid who played Webster.
Emmanuel Lewis.
By the way, Emmanuel Lewis has 2 doctorates, is 52, lives in Orlando with his wife Sandra and his 6 children, and they have 23 grandchildren.
Nice.
The actor is 3'6" tall, but obviously has balls that make Barry White look envious. I'm telling you. 3'6". Now my favorite joke of the week, even though you probably won't care. Bob Newhart's wife Ginny passed away this week. Very sad. They were married for 60 years. And today, the former Mrs. Newhart woke up in heaven sleeping next to Suzanne Plachette. He said, I've had the weirdest dream. By the way, Ginny came up with the idea to finish the Newhart series by him waking up with, that was her idea. I don't know if you knew that. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson have hired the same lawyer to get them a large payout from their own network. Their attorney will sue for neck and back injuries because the anchors were fired so fast they got whiplash. All right, and this is it, the last one. And yeah, oh please God. Steve's camera's working. Steve, be ready.
I'm ready.
Because this one is, I should have ended on the last one. I've been rethinking this one all day, but I should do it. A man in Texas asked his neighbor to please shoot his AR-15 on the other side of his yard because it was keeping his family awake. The gunman decided to run into the man's house and shoot it up, killing 8 people, including babies and women. The gunman is still at large, and at this point, authorities can't find him. The only lead is he will most likely be seen on the cover of NRA magazine as their person of the year. Okay, Steve, bring it in. That one was not one to get a big laugh, but to
Ending big on mustache
that was
night.
normal.
It's Brad Tassell.
It's me, everybody, and look at the mustache.
Man,
It's the mustache.
doing that at 4 a.m. I think he
That is
deserves
true.
more.
It's 4:14.
Yeah.
All right.
Ended on a down note, but I think you should take it right back with your thing.
All right. Well, before I do the top 10 list, no, let's do the thing. Then we'll do it. Then I'll say what I'm saying. welcome everybody to the virtual comedy show on Mustache Night. I think this is a tradition that's going to last for a while. I've come up with a poem. Are you ready? Here's the poem. Hey, hey, 1st of May, mustache rides start today. All right. I would just like to point out that Jerry Springer's will did not specify if he wants to be buried or cremated, and his fans have split into 2 camps, cremate or bury. Okay, it's enough. It's enough. It's enough. Who cares? So, as you probably read or heard, Marjorie Taylor Greene is once again making an idiot of herself, and we didn't think it was possible to go any further down. She's famously said that stepmothers and adoptive mothers are not mothers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you might recall she had the whole thing about the Jewish space lasers a couple years. The idiocy well just has no bottom. So tonight's category is top 10. Tonight's top 10 category is top 10 things that MTG really stands for. The initials MTG really stands for. Let's start. Number 10, metric ton of garbage. Number 9, man, thanks, Georgia. Number 8, mashed turnips and gefilte fish. The Jewish touch. You're welcome. Number 7, meatballs, toenails, and gravy. Number 6. Oh, I forgot to do this. Hang on a second. I forgot to do this before I started.
Hey, this is gonna get pretty gross.
All right. Done that at the outset. My fault. Where was I? Number 6. Mayonnaise, tonsils, and gangrene.
That would have been appropriate for that too.
Number 5. Must taste gross.
Yeah.
The top 10 things that MTG really stands for. Number 4. MAGA twit goober.
Appropriate.
Number 3. Maybe try gardening. Instead of number 2. Instead of mangling the government. And the number 1 thing that MTG really stands for, GED. It's mustache night. What do you want?
It is. It is mustaches all the way. And I prove Marjorie is a mother. Okay.
Yeah.
So
We're gentlemen. We can't go there.
we
Hey,
can't go. Yeah,
speaking
we
of
can't
gentlemen,
go there. I
our
know.
musical
Dave
guest
has already
tonight-
left the show. He's out of here.
I don't blame him.
Can't take
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
I would have left too. No, he's still here somewhere.
Yeah, where is he? I can't.
Oh, Shoebox, turn on your camera. Oh,
Yeah,
your
where
camera
is
on.
it? Where's the
I
shoebox?
just can't
Oh, it's
see him.
on. I just had to move things.
Oh, here he is. I got him. I got him.
Yay, everybody, it's Shoebox of Worm Cortez.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do
As
things.
always, the rebel that he is spurning mustache night.
I am. I haven't hit puberty yet. I'm still waiting. I haven't been able to grow it. I've tried to grow facial hair. It's ridiculous. I haven't shaved in like a week. You can't tell.
I have the same problem. You have an
Me
18-year-old
too.
kid, so I don't even know what to tell you.
Mine's
All right,
virtual.
we're going to do the intro. Then, Shoebox, you take it away with the song. Then I got to answer that song, and then you'll do another song. Here we go.
It's our musical guest, our musical guest. Gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest, our musical guest. It's time for our musical guest.
Hi.
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 Hi, damn it.
Yes. Also, damn it. Thank you. Thank you for appending the damn it. That was proper. So I'm gonna do a really stinking old one because
Hey.
I am. So here. This is one I wrote in. I wrote this in college. I'd like to dedicate it to my college roommate and also my other college roommate. And taking off headphones does amazing things to my hair, doesn't it? That's great. There's a hair on my soap, an ugly little thing, a little pubic souvenir upon my Irish spring. There's a hair on my soap, It's curly, long, and fine. There's a hair on my soap, and I don't think it's mine. My roommate must have used it, 'cause I see his soap is gone. It was just a sliver yesterday, and now it has passed on. Predicament, but still it isn't fair. Just 'cause he used up his ivory, why should I bathe in his hair? There's a hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. Can't rinse it off, can't scrape it off. I don't know how to cope with this hair on the soap, this hair on the soap. Just thought I'd take a shower, but I've given up all hope. The water's pouring down on me and splashing in the drain. The shampoo's running in my eyes, I'm wincing from the pain. Can't deal with the horror of this most disgusting find. This sample of his DNA my roommate left behind. I look around the tub, my other roommate's soap is there. It's shiny white and barely used, devoid of pubic hair. So I use it and put it back where it's supposed to go. And I think that it's the perfect crime, but little do I know I left a hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. Well, at least it's less disgusting than to find one in your scope. There's a hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. The cycle goes forever and I don't know how to cope. A hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. Even in the yuppie bathrooms where they hang it on a rope, they'll still find hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. And no one of us is safe. Hell, I'd even bet the Pope has found a hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. Could be from somebody's balding head or from their anal slope. There's a hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. Could be from a person, from a dog, or from an antelope. There's a hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. If you ask me if I like it, I'll just have to tell you nope. There's a hair on the soap, a hair on the soap. The zest was greenish when I started, now it's looking kinda taupe. There's a hair on the soap, there's a hair on the soap. There's a hair on the soap. There's a hair on the soap. Damn it. Okay.
All right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And I'm in the odd position. I've got two things that could tie into that, and I can't think. I'm going to leave it up to the audience. First of all, you've all heard he mentioned balding, so I could obviously do the more recent admit you got, and I'd be happy to do that. But there's also he also mentioned that's a very old song, and one of the oldest songs I've got, and which has been requested that I re-record by one Jace McLean of Needle Juice Records, and it's really, really gross. So, audience, bald spot song, make some noise. Really gross song from a long time ago.
Really gross song.
Really gross song it is. Little gerbil, crawl on up my butt. Little gerbil, I hope you don't get stuck. Little gerbil, I'm just as horny as I can be. I shove little animals in me. Forceps. That's it.
I'm over A. I'm back to A.
Back to World War Z.
Andrew even here?
I get to follow that. Neat.
Yeah.
Good
I
luck.
have faith in you two, Mox.
Right. Now, this one, I asked you earlier, Steve, if I'd done this on the show before, and I don't think so. This is another one from my, I've done a couple. I've done at least one other one, I think, from my Pac-Man EP that came out a couple of years ago, a tribute to the Great Yellow One. This one is a cover of a song originally done by Barnes and Barnes. Artie Barnes recently left us, unfortunately. So R.I.P. to him. And he was. I mean, he said nice things about this song, so I appreciate the living hell of it. And this is going to be that. This is a song, yes. It has a title. You'll hear it momentarily. Oh, I had sex with Pac-Man. It happened yesterday. Yes, I had sex with Pac-Man. Now he won't go away. He gobbles me, I gobble him. We're gobbling all day. Oh, I had sex with Pac-Man. Hey, it started with a quarter, but quickly fizzled out. I see him in my dreams at night, scuttling about. I know this love will never die. His spongy face, his hungry eye, the points mount up, it gets me high, having sex with Pac-Man. Ghosts all around, his life is dangerous. Blue dots are abounding, he always follows us. Like Pac-Man eats round and round, he eats his way from up to down. Oh, I had sex with Pac-Man, the word is out in town. Yes, I had sex with Pac-Man when no one else was here. He came out of his Pac-Man game and nibbled on my ear. He calls me after work at night when he's completely sloshed. Yes, I had sex with Pac-Man, and I let Steve Goodie watch. Oh, I had sex with Pac-Man, but no, I can't scratch his itch. Billy Mitchell made him finish, and he streamed it live on Twitch. My happy heart has been destroyed. I'll soon have sex with asteroids. Oh, I had sex with Pac-Man. Eat them up, yum.
Shoebox of Worm Quartet. I would like to point out, for those who are wondering, he didn't let me watch. I had to pay $20. And well worth it. Yeah, it was $20 that only took a few minutes to earn, but the scars last forever. Thank you, Shoebox of Worm Quartet. You
Good
always
job.
make us smile and feel weird.
Good job.
Where will you be performing in the near future that we can come check you out?
I have absolutely no idea.
All right.
Nothing scheduled at the moment. But yeah, I've got a Kickstarter that should be going live very soon. My new album, after it first full-length one in a very long time, will be Kickstartering hopefully later this month if all goes well.
I think we'd all like to support that.
Yes.
Wouldn't we?
All right.
Okay.
Everybody clap.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Woo!
Yay. Thank you so much, sir. Hey, and you know what?
It's mustache night.
You know what? I hate to say it, but he's still here. Look at that. It's Dave Dugan, everybody.
Yay.
He had
Hey,
a
you're
mustache
rethinking
when
this
we
whole
started.
thing, aren't you?
He's ripped his mustache out in anguish in the
Yes.
past 20 minutes.
Pulled every hair out of his face. Hi, Dave.
Brad, hey, Steve.
Hi,
This is
Dave.
see if
You
this
know-
is really worth the wait, by the way. But go ahead. We're gonna
So we're going to talk about Dave at the end. He's doing my favorite this next Friday. I don't think we have anybody, maybe live at Facebook because I have a lot of people near Bloomington, but you're going to be in Nashville at the Playhouse in Nashville, Indiana.
that's
Wow.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, that is
Killing me.
great place.
Right.
Yeah.
why, Steve.
Because you said Nashville, I got excited.
Oh,
Wrong
Nashville, Indiana.
Wrong
No,
answer.
Playhouse.
Different,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
states.
Yeah. So okay.
All right.
Well, here's what
Well, Dave,
happens.
we're gonna do an intro, and then you're
Oh,
gonna
an
do
intro.
10 minutes of awesome. And
All right.
here we go.
It's time for our big headliner. Got some funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah.
Dugan.
Oh, that's a great intro. I wish I could take that like to corporate shows and stuff and play that instead of somebody that tries to just make up their own intro for me. They don't pay attention to the intro you give them sometimes, and you're up there just winging it. You might recognize it from the Ed Sullivan Show and one of the original Teletubbies, and he's seen every Robbie Benson movie 12 times. Let's hear it. Or no, I like the intro a lot. Hey, I think I might have tips for your viewers tonight, so I might start with one of those. I just discovered this. If you get called in for jury duty and you show up soaking wet, topless with liquor on your breath, they dismiss you. I write it down, but I think it's a good tip. And I'm a little off for a few reasons tonight. I'm not using my favorite props, an air horn and a pony. I'm also grieving a little bit because our family, we're a bunch of animal lovers, so we took everything in, and we just lost our bearded dragon. And yeah, we like them all, the cats and the dogs and the bearded dragons, And anyway, it was not really mine to begin with. It was my son's. He wanted it really bad. He's like 10 years old, and then he went off to college. And so guess who got to go to PetSmart every Wednesday and get a bag of crickets for a bearded dragon? That'd be me. I didn't know if you thought that was rhetorical. And here's the thing I found out. I don't miss going to PetSmart. I miss the bearded dragon. I don't miss going to PetSmart because those must be the most bored employees anywhere, because they say the same thing every time I would go through the line with the crickets. They always said this. It's all they had. What you feeding? They said, what you feeding? Miniature donkeys. What we're feeding. Thank you for your concern. But what you feeding? Well, we have a water buffalo in our basement. You think they'd like sugar cane and oats? They're digging the crickets. What you feeding? Oh, it's got a tapeworm. So I'm an animal lover. I saw a dog. I think I bond with dogs the most. I saw a dog the other day, and he was wearing one of those, cones. He'd had some sort of procedure, and this made me really sympathetic and kind of sad because, a few years ago, when I got fixed, that's what my wife made me wear, and which good thing, 'cause I was myself alone. Who would have known my hind leg was so flexible? It's going to be transparent. I think it should be. Tell you everything and be honest about it. Even though I call myself an animal lover, there's a short list of animals I don't like that much, like cat. Cats are good. I would say mice, rats, the ones that you don't invite into your home. Groundhogs. I hate groundhogs. That's stupid holiday. It makes absolutely no sense. Especially if you're from a cold weather climate, there's nothing you want to do than change the weather by the end of January. You hope a miracle happens. And I'm always hoping for something about February 2nd coming around there. And then I realized I don't even know what I want to happen. I don't know do we want the groundhog to see the shadow or not see the shadow? What's going to work out, better for us? The only Groundhog's Day that made any sense that I can think of, you might remember, is years ago, but Groundhog's Day that one year fell on Super Bowl Sunday, and Janet Jackson's flopped out. Odd shadow, and we got 10 more years of Justin Timberlake from that mess. I didn't even start a timer on this thing. You guys got to pull the plug when you feel like it. So what else is going on? Oh, my wife and I celebrated our 26th wedding anniversary. I guess that's not a milestone. But it's they're all 26. I guess it's a marathon of sorts. And we have figured out that we pretty much have spent about a quarter of a century just seeing how much we can disrupt each other's sleep. Now I've got some issues too, but she's not here, so I'm just going to talk about hers. She's got the restless leg syndrome, which if you're familiar with that. And I'm a light sleeper. There's nothing more disconcerting than waking up, being awoke actually, because you see the covers next to you doing this business. And I'm gonna pull back. He's gonna have cloven hooves. This is not relaxing at all. This is not my beautiful wife. This ain't no disco. This ain't no fooling around. This is something that needs an exorcism right here. So, because we took those wedding vows like we all do, and we really believed in all of them. And in fact, my wife even cried at the wedding. Well, not as much as she did at the honeymoon. That's a different thing. The wedding vows that, I don't need to go through them all, but for rich or for poor, it's sickness and health. I don't remember one that says if she gets the crazy legs, you have to stay with her. So I hear this often when I'm out with my wife. I don't know if anybody else has been the receiving end of this, but they see us together and they say to me, wow, you married up, and I think, well, that's a nice compliment for her, but I kind of wonder how much did I marry up? Am I just slightly out of my league, or are you saying she's had some sort of facial blindness thing, so that's the only reason she's with me? I feel revengeful sometimes, it's like, yeah, she's pretty, but she snores like a sailor. So true, she snores, and it's not even a human snore. It's like a hog. And she woke up and she goes, oh, I must have been dreaming. You must have been dreaming about wallowing in mud, because I've never quite heard anything like that. This is where I would sound my air horn if I were using my props. Anyway, so we still got any time? We got a little time. I just
sure.
Yeah, keep on going.
Well,
I was going to tell you guys that this is about the 1 year anniversary of getting hit by a car on my bike. I like to bike a lot. It's the only time it ever happened. I didn't get hurt that bad. It was just one of these deals where I've got some bumps and bruises and scratches, and the driver felt so bad about it. I didn't feel like making a big deal out of it because he was so sorry. And he said, I got to do something for you. And I don't know why he came up with this, but he handed me a $100 bill. And so that got me to thinking. I thought if I could stand on this corner and take about 3 hits a day, you know, 5 days, that'd be a 6-figure salary, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I could afford a lot of things I've always wanted in life, you know, like a jet ski and a gold cap tooth. So I went into Arby's the other day. I'm really switching subjects on you, but for a second, but that sounds weird, maybe to say I went into Arby's because we always do the drive-through. But anytime we can go indoors because of all those restrictions we had for a while, I take advantage of it now. It's like it's my freedom. And I went in, and there was a big long line of people. And so I don't know if you ever rehearse your order before you get up to order something at the probably do out loud like I do, just because you don't want to blow it when you get up there and make people wait. You know, I'd like the potato cake, please. I said it over and over again. I'd like the potato cake, please. Then I got up there to deliver what I saw were rehearsed, and the kid behind the counter, kind of a hillbilly kid, actually. He really threw me off because he goes, when I did my order, he goes, "Sir, we don't serve no potato cake anymore." And did you guys know that? That's the crown jewel of Arby's. I guess they don't make them anymore. And I was so flustered, I almost passed out. I couldn't think of I couldn't think curly fries. I didn't even have a backup plan. And then he really started to throw me because he was, I don't want to put it any more delicately, but he was one of those guys or people that has so many gums. You know, when you look at them, all you see are gums. You know what I'm talking about? Those. Like, I'm looking at 7 stories of gum. I thought I saw my reflection in his gums. I thought it was going to blow my mind when he said, "Do you want horsey sauce with that?"
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey, somebody bullied me into trying gummies finally. You know, because I'm not a drug guy at all, and they sort of kept it up. So I finally tried them, and I don't think it's for me because I slept through the tax deadline, and I woke up missing a toe.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna give you guys a little before I go here. I got something that might help you out a little bit. I had my eye exam the other day, and the eye doctor got an important call, so he had to leave the room. And so I took the liberty of writing down the 20/20 vision line on the eye chart. So then when you go in, if you want to know this, it's TCG EOL. Guys, I think it's a lot more important to score high than I have my vision corrected. So this great. I really, Brad, I hope it was worth the 2-year wait you were talking about.
It was. Yay! Wait, why didn't I come in? What happened? There it is. Yay!
It kind of reminded me, though, you know, of this whole experience of the first virtual exam I just had with a doctor. What do you call it? Telehealth.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I found this out. You don't have to take all your clothes off before you connect with the doctor. I do a rectal exam right out of the gate, but I'm embarrassed about the way I position myself against that screen. But pleasure hanging out with you 3 hours in the morning.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, hey, you know, what else? You said you're doing something else coming up.
Oh, you talking about just shows and so forth?
Yeah.
The Brown County Playhouse one? Okay. No, I don't know if I did say that, actually, Brad. I think I just said, you know, if you want to say something about the website or the Dry Bar Comedy Special, maybe that.
Oh, Dry Bar. No, yeah, Dry Bar. Yeah, no, please, heavens. Dry Bar. It's got to be the greatest dry bar out there, and millions of views. So your clips are now, when did you shoot it?
You have an excellent one yourself, I might say. I guess mine has been almost 3 years ago now or so.
Okay. So the clips are.
It was released less than 3 years ago. That's it. It was released less than 3 years ago.
But all the clips are on YouTube. They're on Roku. Any place you find Dry Bar, put in Dave Dugan.
Yeah, it's more than you should have of me.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed myself. You guys, I didn't know if this was going to be fun or not. I almost actually brought a board game, but
Yeah. Play a little risk while you're doing it. You take a risk. So, all right. Well, Steve, do you have the website in the end on the thing, or?
I sure do.
Of course he does. So, all right, everybody. Dave Dugan, clap and go.
Thank you, Dave.
And I'm going to get ready. All right. So, and now it's the exciting Patti
you guys,
virtual version.
We are so economical. We don't necessarily throw away everything after we're done with it. So we're going to recycle an old Patti melt because Patty's asleep. So
and we don't have to go away to do it.
It's time for a Patti melt with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's melting down. It's a Patti Vasquez Patti melt.
From 3 months ago.
Hi. What?
I took you out, but you put yourself back in.
No, I didn't.
Hi, Patti.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't feel well tonight. I don't feel like melting. I don't.
Oh no.
And then no, it's okay. I'll work up to it because I mean I did order dinner rather than cooking it, and I thought, ooh, I will save time in order to do the virtual comedy show because I'm always cooking. And then of course the order was completely wrong, and I had to fix it. So all fine. I'm great. No, really, it's and you don't want to get mad at people. It's not the person's fault that delivers the food that the order was wrong. It's like being a server and you get mad because the food doesn't taste right. Your server didn't make the food. It's the kitchen. Not that I've ever been a server, for over 15 years. I hated that. Oh my God. Look, here's the thing. Before I became a comic, I had over 40 different jobs. I hated working so much. I used to leave my job in the middle of the day and not show up again. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it's amazing. I'm just saying. However, I am afraid to go into some restaurants because I'm pretty sure I still work there. Am I in section 7 again? These people are terrible. Anyway, it's true. I made a list one day. It was over 40 different jobs from the age of 14 until, I've had a couple since I started doing comedy. So what I'm telling you is I was very good at filling out applications and lying my way through an interview. That's all I'm saying. And wow. It was mostly restaurants, bartending, waitressing. I really, look, I hated serving so much because it makes you feel manic. I had a table, I'll never forget this. I worked in Evanston at a place called the Roxy. And this one table was like, oh my God, you're amazing. You're the best server we've ever had. You should sit down. We want to hang out with you. And I was like, I have another table to get to. Let me go take care of them. I go to the other table and this woman's like, this is the worst service I have ever had in my entire life. I want to speak to a manager. I was like, why don't you come and sit at this table? Because they seem to be having a really good time. I guess it comes down to attitude. I'm just saying, you got a bad one. The problem with being somebody who doesn't have a filter is also maybe when I got bad tips, I did not handle it well. I maybe followed a guy out one day when he left me 38 cents on his tab, and I maybe followed him out of the restaurant onto the sidewalk and said, excuse me, you forgot your change. I think you need it more than I do. So maybe I'm the one with the attitude problem. I don't know. It maybe happened a couple, 2-3 times. Like this woman bought a whole round of beers for all of her coworkers and told me to keep the change, which was 25 cents. And she said, and I gave it back to her and said, here's your change. Same thing. When you do it for a decade, you use a stock line. It's like being a comic. I don't care. So I said, here's your change. You need it more than I do. And she goes, you embarrassed me in front of all my coworkers. I go, no, sweetie, you embarrassed yourself. Have a good night. Now I think about it, how did I never get fired? Anyway, I was it's true, right? You would think. So I also worked in retail. And I was in the 90s, I was like this crazed ex-cheerleader because they overtrain you. The managers come in and they tell you to add on accessories and make sure you upsell and all these things. So I remember one time a woman was trying on a vest and she said it was too small. And I said, well, maybe because you're wearing long sleeves. That makes no sense, folks. I said that out loud of my face. And we had we had a big banner in the back that said "Keep pushing till they say no twice," and I thought that's not a sales technique. That's a fraternity slogan. The sales technique. I really was like a crazy ex-cheerleader. I remember being so overtrained and the manager was always criticizing me. So people would walk in, I wouldn't even let them breathe. I'd be like, "Hi, can I help you? Is it for work or play? What size do you need? Can I start a dressing room for you? Is that for work or play?" And I would actually, I remember one time crawling underneath the door of the dressing room. I was so eager to like upsell stuff. I'm like, "Oh, that looks great on you. Nice Brazilian." So I became a little too aggressive is what I'm saying. And then I also, again, did not have a very good filter. A woman came in one day and she goes, oh, and this actually, maybe I should ask you guys about this because she has, I'm going on a cruise. What should I wear on a cruise? I was working a minimum wage job kissing this lady's ass. I was not up on the cruise fashions. I don't know. What did Captain Steubing wear? Like white and black. I don't know. have an evening gown. And then she goes, and then she said, what goes with black? We have a lovely broomstick you might like. Landon really goes with your wart, lady. And then she said, this is where I just walked myself out of the job afterwards. I was like, I'm gonna go. Don't even bother. Because she goes, I'm going on a date. What should I wear on my date? I was like, how about a bag? That was the last day. What I'm saying is, if your order goes wrong, you don't have to take it out on the delivery person because somebody else screwed up. I blame Uber. Uber Eats. It's their fault.
That's all we got.
Did everybody else see the black spots for a while, or was that just?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that happens, but that's cool. Oh well. So Patti Vasquez, everybody.
Yay.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll be back next week.
We'll still give her money when you donate.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right. But first we have to do this.
Oh yeah.
How about another dumb song from Steve for no reason?
Yeah, I was scrambling around trying to find the perfect song to do for no reason. And I found this that I wrote a few years ago. And I think it might actually make sense more now. I just rewrote it just a little bit. And I think we've got something here for our esteemed ex-president. Donnie, Donnie, who can you turn to? You've been arraigned and I think they're gonna get you. Yeah, that election was rigged, just like you love to say. Now they picked out your number down at the penitentiary. Donnie, they got your number. You're gonna do some time. Don, you'll be wearing a number. Inmate 675309. Inmate 675309. Hey, orange boy, you should have just resigned. That's it.
All right then.
Yeah. Still wishful thinking, but I enjoy it. So
yeah, we'll see. Who knows?
Right.
Okay. What's next?
Waiting for Georgia.
I believe it's time to beg for money, so let's do this.
Let's do that.
Brad begs for money. Hey, we need your money. We don't charge a cover for a 2-drink minimum, so what did you expect, Jack?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Virtual Comedy Show. And when you go to virtualcomedyshow.com, you click donate to the comedians, and then we use that money for things that we need. One of them is I'll probably be fired from Celebrity Cruise Lines after this cruise and how I just talked about it. And I will lose over $110,000. Dave Dugan needs gas money to get up to Bloomington and to Nashville, I think. Also, Patty's not feeling well. She could use your money right now, too, because she has a bunch of black squares on her face that we didn't know existed. And Steve and I need to buy razors because these are the worst mustaches I've ever seen in my life. And of course, Tim's in a basement somewhere, and we can get him out of the basement. But no, actually, it really does help us. And we thank everybody that does donate because you do a great job, and a lot of people do. And we could use the 1,000 people that watch this show every week that don't. So thank you very much. virtualcomedyshow.com, donate to comedians, and we will use that money for like food and things that we need. All right, that's enough.
All right, worst joke of the week time. Here we go.
Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke.
Boo! That was the worst joke ever.
I'm now feeling this night might not be the worst joke of the week, but here it is. An art exhibit that is previously sold for $120,000 in a gallery in South Korea was eaten by a student who said he didn't have breakfast. The exhibit is called The Comedian, and it's a banana duct taped to a wall. It is a work by Italian artist Maurizio Catalan, and it is sold previously for $120,000, and they change the banana every couple days. What can I get for a kumquat nailed to a blackboard? Said me.
Hey, that was the virtual comedy show. We learned a lot of stuff we didn't need to know, like the Italian word for loud is fortissimo. That's what you get when you watch this show. Fascinating, isn't it? We have a lot of fun at the virtual comedy show. It's better than sitting home playing with your toes or going to the dump to watch stuff decompose. Keep coming back to the virtual comedy show. We hope you enjoyed the virtual comedy show. You don't have to dress up, no, 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 no. You can be like Brad and go commando. Every Monday it's the virtual comedy show. See you Monday at the virtual comedy show. It's at www.virtualcomedyshow.com.